can't do it the same way though,
Right.
because my older generations look at the same information differently because their experience on this earth, even though they're it's the same timeline, their perception is different. So you have to talk to them differently.
Right.
And that's where a lot of people will fail in their email marketing. They'll literally talk to everyone exactly the same in their marketing, period.
Yeah. So you got to definitely curate. You got to know who you want to target.
Right.
I had a guy on, Joe Templin. And he said, if you're just shooting an arrow and you're not aiming at anything, you're never going to hit your target. So you got to know who you're trying to target, who you're trying to talk to, and curate your message for that audience for sure.
I agree 100%. I keep telling Jen, my client, my longest gym client, we went from those 300 almost paying to over 2,000 premium payers. Okay. In a matter of, I want to say we did that in between 24 and 36 months. Okay. And they had a national gym move directly across from them. I want to say right around month 8. And we still were able to do that. Okay. And they weren't even cheaper than them. So like price is the race to the bottom type of thing. But one of the things that I've always, she's one of those ones who's like, well, we have something for everybody. I get that. But when you're starting, it's better to be very specific about which sector of the market you are trying to build. Because for most gym owners, this gym specifically, but I mean, even physical trainers, fitness trainers, because you only have so much bandwidth, right? And most gyms only have so many square feet to put in, right? And so if you have equipment for all of the sectors, you now are a generalist gym. You're not really, you don't create a tribe. A gym that has like, I was in CrossFit for a long time. And the nice thing about CrossFit is when you get into CrossFit, you see the newbie coming in, they're getting sucked into that culture, right? And so if you're able to sit there and go, you know what, I'm going to deal with professionals that, busy professionals. So we're only open after hours and before hours because they're not going to come at lunch type of thing. But we're going to give them, everything's going to be for them, right? So we're going to focus on the fitness of folks who are not always active during the day. Okay, great. Now you have this sector. Now everybody that's you're drawing in has the same goals.
Right.
Once you are able to create a culture, people don't walk away from culture.
Somebody told me the riches are in the niches, right?
Yes.
So the more you can niche down, the better for you. And the analogy that I use is, I used to do a fair amount of sports performance training. My specialty was hockey, right? So if you have a facility that specializes in hockey players, you're not going to get a lot of football players. You're not going to get a lot of baseball players. You might get some lacrosse players because there's a little crossover there. But bottom line is that if you're a hockey place, you're only going to get hockey players. Now, if you say, oh, we do all sports, to me, that's the difference between going to like a sports authority versus like your local, hockey
pro shop. Yeah.
Exactly.
Your hockey pro shop, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So in Anchorage, where I lived for 18 years, we had a hockey pro shop, and that we had 2 of them, and they were always busier in the hockey department compared to the hockey department of the sports authority or Dick's or anything like that. Right. But we had a special, like a hockey fitness, hockey agility. They had it's like a hockey performance gym at one of the rinks. Place is packed all the time. The only other people we ever see there were like rugby players and stuff like that, just because there's nothing else for them specifically. But the fitness is about the same, right? So they're like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Another thing that you got to think about, when you specialize, you can charge more.
Yes.
Right. If you're a specialist and you're the best in your community, then you get to charge more than everybody else because you're going to create better results. And that's what your marketing is all about, is results, right? If you're a generalist, you don't get to charge as much.
Yeah. Well, and not only that, but when you're a generalist, going back to what you were saying about the culture, when you're a generalist, it's really hard to develop a homogenous culture.
Right.
But if you're a hockey guy and you got nothing but hockey guys in there, hockey players training there, it's real easy to develop a culture.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, and you see the guy that's like skating circles around everybody else. Guess what? They're going, where's he training?
Right.
Oh, he's training over here with the specialist. I want to need a specialist then. Right.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be that good. I want to be better than that. Right.
Right.
So yeah, you definitely have that. Another thing about being a generalist is that you have to have more equipment. You have to have more programs, and the more equipment, the more programs you need to serve your clientele, the less profitable you are, because you have more maintenance and you have more overhead, right? So even if you're using the same equipment for two different programs, you still have to maintain the programs themselves and keep straight everything in that. And not all trainers are going to be as multifaceted. So that means if you're the one doing the training and you're the only one there, then your bandwidth is now restricted to what you have the energy to do.